Yeah, so people wanted me to do something on edges. And so I thought, well, maybe the thing to do would be to take a painting that was already a long way along. And I mean, I think I worked on this 3 times. I just sprayed it really heavy so I could do this. And then I, of course, had to redraw because I couldn't resist that. So what I'm going to do is just show you like what I would do now at this stage. So the way, if I'm really doing the edges thing, like really, I don't think I do anymore. But if I really am, then what I do is I'll just like pick, like, okay, so this flower, like I want this flower to really pop forward. So, all right, just a minute. Sorry, I have to move a lot of stuff here.
Somebody's got a radio on.
Yeah, if somebody's got the TV or the radio on or something, they need to mute. Okay, so
News.
yeah, the bad news. So it's not just edges, it's brighter colors too. So if I just can put that in with a little stronger color than it was, and oh wait, one more light on. I guess I need one more light. Hoping maybe that's, I don't know if that's better or not. But. So what makes you look at things is, maybe that's too much light. Okay, you guys, look at that flower right now that I was working on and tell me better or nothing, right? Nothing changed. Is that true?
That light highlight you just put in popped, but are you going for trying to get the orange around that edge or make it pink?
Well, I was making it. I just turned off the light and I just wondered if that was. I turned off one of the lights I had on, but I couldn't see that anything actually changed. I mean, no, I didn't really explain what I'd done. All right, so
we still see clearly.
Okay. So like that's a little place I would like to stay in focus, but then that means that these things that are behind here can't be as in focus or so maybe I would just, kind of run all that together behind. But I might want to make it more in focus right up here where it's in front of the tulip. So I can have it a little more in focus there and then drop it off as it goes away. And then this guy, so I can make him, well, so I had that one really in focus, and that's okay. You can have something that's behind more in focus. So if that back one's going to be in focus, then I need to make sure this front petal's not quite so in focus. It's a little bit trickier to make something in the back more in focus than something in the front.
And I was just going to ask, so the choice isn't necessarily closeness as much as it's what you want to draw the eye?
Yeah, that's right. And you just can't, can't, oh God, I hate the word like can't, but a human eye cannot focus on two things that are too close together. So, like I can't focus here and here at the same time. So I need to make a choice. And then I can also do things like darken up the background a little bit right in there to make that a stronger edge too. You can't believe how strong it looks right now, but I can't. It's not showing up as so there. That's a little better. So edges are completely made up. There's nothing realistic about them because anywhere you look is going to be in focus, and and then you move and you look somewhere else, and then that's in focus. So Um, and then let's see what I can do in that background right in there. Degas is such a good one to look at for edges, to study his edges. He almost never, if he shows you like this side of something, he does not show you the other side. So you're just going to have to, make it up from the information he gives you on the side that he makes in focus. Oh, broke it. Okay. Well, I even have my little box to put my pastels in. Am I putting any of my pastels in my little box as I use them? And the answer is no. I'm going to try to do better now. Okay, so I really want this out of focus too. You just have to tell me when you get sick of this, because it's just basically going around and trying to make a decision about every single edge. And just see how much I can get rid of and get away with.
Jeneane, are you basing your decision on edges around what you want to focus on and what you don't? Or are there other things?
No, just that. It's all made up. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to focus on this flower. I'm going to focus on parts of that flower. And I'm going to not focus on other parts of that flower. So it's not like having a center of interest. It's like saying, I don't care about that back there, and I don't care about that. So
it looks like you're having an easy time covering up the black lines when you redrew. Is that because you sprayed it?
Well, I sprayed it before I drew. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Isn't it just because it's charcoal and that's generally cover?
Yeah, it's usually pretty easy. I never have any trouble getting, oh golly, rid of them. Now I got trouble. I did something terrible. Yeah, so look at that. Now that just pops right out of there. That is not what I wanted. All right, so I might have to do something more drastic. Oh, I know what I could do. I could make this more. And then I was thinking about those see, I tell you, it's just little things that are not drawn right. This is, and I don't know if some of you will remember and some of you never knew, but this is not a photograph that, this event never happened in real life. This photograph never happen in real life. It's a composite. So, all right, so those guys. So, anyway, mistakes were made. What if I just put some yellow in the background here? Okay, maybe I went too far. I figure always, though, of course, if you don't go too far, how do you know? How do you know? Going too far is like a good thing. Oh my God, I cannot hang on to that little tiny piece.
I will. No?
I don't know if you have any other questions. I can't think of anything to say. I'm sorry. I was sort of concentrating, I guess. Okay, so just going around.
Jeneane, I'm looking at your strokes, and I always look at them. And I remember in painting class, you talked about scrumbling.
Uh-huh.
And is this your pastel version of doing scrumbling?
Yeah, it is really. Yeah.
And would you speak about it a little bit? Or could you?
Oh, well, so scumbling is a technique in oil painting. It's a way to cover a lot of ground. So I'm kind of beyond, I mean, that's how I start all my paintings, that I'm not really worried about the kind of strokes I'm making, but I am a little worried right now about the strokes I'm making. So I'm kind of doing a combination of, I'm doing kind of a drawing stroke more right now, I think. So the scumbling technique, that's a technique that I use to lay in, to get everything covered in a big, quick way. And then so now I'm trying to add colors. What I'm really worried about is that what I'm doing is sort of so fussy, it's hard to see in the video. That's what I'm worried about in response to that question. So like that, the green, that's a very broad stroke right in there to make that greener. It's not really like this thing where I'm some places like in the background where I'm using the flat of my pastel, that's very much like the scumbling stroke.
Which means it allows the under color to come through the layer you're working on, right?
Yeah, because I'm using a open stroke now, not. So yeah, there comes a time where I don't want to obliterate what's there. Like for a long time, I'm trying to obliterate it all because it needs to be better. It's so not right that I need to obliterate it. But then there comes a time that I'm trying to add, not like redo. So like here, like I think what I could do here is I think if I take the and so I'm almost like, okay, so I'm taking my background color and I'm kind of outlining it, but then I'm kind of working it into the background so that it won't hopefully stay an outline. So like maybe I want that to be, kind of sharpish up in there. And maybe over there too, and then I'm gonna so here I'm just adding that violet in there. It's a pretty big open stroke, as you can see. I let it just keep getting bigger so you can see a little better maybe. And this must have been the third or the fourth time, I bet, that I sprayed this. Oh, another thing you can do to pop like that yellowy orange edge out is that violet will do that too, because it's the complement. And see, outlines, any place I leave the outline, like if I forget about these outlines, when I'm messing around, outlines always pop things into focus. So if you don't want things in focus, do not outline.
You mean the charcoal outline or
Yeah, any outline, any color outline will. Like here, that's a color outline. Let's see if I can. All right, then I'm going to come down and try to hit that one. And I am using my more expensive pastels quite a bit right now. As you can tell when you look at them, the big fat chunky ones are the expensive ones. I think it's hard to do flowers without That was the mostly when I used my more expensive pastels was for flowers. No,
What kind are they, Jeneane?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't. I have some Diane Townsend's. I have some of
my expensive
those.
ones disintegrate,
What?
which
Oh.
makes me wonder why they're expensive.
Disintegration is usually a sign of expense. But because they're so soft, you have to be a little careful. But yeah, mine are just, I mean, they're just in little shattered pieces in here. Like, you know, like I was saving all these tiny little thingies, even though I can hardly pick one up because I can't
So
bear it that they've.
Great Americans break in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Well, I used to use Sennelier a lot, and I still really like them. I don't know, I just haven't been using them. I don't know why, really. No real reason. But you don't unwrap them. But these just kind of fall out of the wrapping paper. So this was the bizarrely morphing tulip that went back and forth between convex and concave.
So my Senneliers didn't come wrapped.
Oh yeah, the half sticks don't. That's true.
Okay.
But you know, I don't know. They're just every color is different too. So, oops, just dropped that big piece. Every color, it depends on the color, how soft they are, as well as the brand.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Some of them are much, much softer.
Yeah. Oh, I just keep dropping everything. We used to make a lot of jokes about dropping our pastels, but nothing seems very funny anymore about like that. Like, I don't know, like this is such a cool thing. Like, you know, maybe I would like that to be more, that whatever the black part is in there. But then, you know, maybe I don't get to have it because, I don't know. You don't get to have everything. Even stuff you really want, you don't always get to have. And you can sort of ignore your painting at your own peril, I'd say. Was so lucky, my outdoor class on Saturday. The weather was so fabulous and it was so beautiful. And the foliage was incredible. And it was warm. I was very
It
happy.
was gorgeous here too.
Nice. Are your leaves still hanging on, you guys?
Yeah. But today and tomorrow with some rain is probably going to
Bring it down.
reduce the leaves.
Well, just took out all that yellow. Yeah, so then, well, what to do about this mess? I think I'm gonna see if I can knock that down, that red. Because otherwise I can't really have anything on the rim in focus here. So if I kind of kill that red tulip, then maybe I can have a little bit more of the a little something on the that little bit of the base.
Looks like an iris. It's fine.
Oh, this tulip, the dead tulip. Yeah, it does look like an
Yeah.
iris now. All right, all you world travelers, did you wear masks on the plane?
Yeah, the plane, it's absolutely mandatory.
Oh.
I found that the airports were very, very different. Very few people wore masks in the airports. And I was in about 5 airports.
Wow.
And they say the airports are a lot more contagious than the airplanes.
Well, probably because the airplanes have fairly good air systems.
Right, right.
I found that once there was a meal served, there wasn't as much compliance on an airplane afterwards.
Oh.
Right.
We just left the
Yeah.
masks off.
Because people still were drinking and whatever.
So you guys did eat
I
on the
don't-
plane.
What did you say?
You did eat on the plane.
Yeah. Yes.
Mostly I ate ahead of time, so I wouldn't have to eat much on the plane. And besides, the food was really bad.
Wow, what did you fly from?
Emirates,
Oh, wow.
we got a special deal 2 years ago, so we just kept
Oh.
it.
Yep. Let's do that same little trick here. I've used the background to pop the flower.
What color is that? Is that a gray?
Yeah, a violet maybe. Just a, it's
Okay.
really, I don't know, it's gray, a gray or a violet. It's very light. See, it looks violety there, but
Uh-huh.
it looked grayer here, didn't it? So just,
Yeah.
it's hard to say what color something is. Okay, so what? Oh, I see. That's that weirdness. Oh, right. So this, I was going to try to do something about that. So, like on this, I mean, one thing I can do is, it's not so much on the vase like the edges. What you want to do is try to pull the middle forward. So if there's the highlight, also, of course, this is really way down here at the bottom, isn't it?
right that the left side of the vase looks wider than the right side?
Probably. I was just, I'm at, it's just, I have my same old excuse is that I'm at such a weird angle to my picture that it's hard for me to draw, kind of. But yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh, wow, what a difference that made already.
That helped, or
Yeah,
okay, good. Didn't make it worse.
I mean the vase in general.
Mm-hmm. So you just keep trying to pull out the middle. And if I had, more room, this is clearly going to all be off the page. I think I did initially when I drew, I did a really bad job of. There was supposed to be more vase. And then this time when I had to recreate the photograph, I just cropped it to match a little more of the painting. But anyway, you're not going to want too
I
much
think
going
we're
on.
not seeing the bottom edge of your drawing.
Oh, no, you are. This is right. Oh, let's see.
Okay, you're just.
See my finger? That's the very bottom edge of that paper. Yeah, no, it's right on the bottom edge. It's too close to the bottom to really be messing with. But I just the important thing here is that when it's something like a vase or something, it's yeah, you can do things to make the edges stand out. I did not actually mean to do what I just did there. But really what you're trying to do is pull out the middle.
Jeneane, what I'm
Yeah.
noticing is in the photograph, the middle of your painting would have the bright background of the wall come through. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking you made it better by letting it be receded.
Well, I know. I don't know if I can't remember now if I did that on purpose or not. Or maybe, that's the thing is you have to be a little careful. You don't want that to pop right out of there. But I think I could make it a little more, and there's supposed to be some right in here too. So, I used to, I just was really used to be trying to see how much could I get away with, like leaving out. That was kind of my mindset, especially, in still life. Not so much landscape, but in still life. Right, and I know I've told you, probably, maybe not all of you have heard this story, but the story where I got started on this whole edges thing was that I had some paintings I'd done. I was so proud of them. I took them up to my teacher back when I lived in New York, and took them up to his house. We went up for a party for the weekend, and I took them with me, and he said, "They're really shallow. What are you going to do to add more to your work?" And I was like, "I don't know." It was horrible. I'm just gonna quit. Anyway, it was horrible. It was a horrible. They just go on and on, the horrible experiences. And they were just like by far the best things I'd ever done until that point. And I hadn't really done too much painting on my own because, there's a ton of time where here's a good example. I'd kind of like to pull that out, but I can't because it's too close to this. So I have to pick which of these two things I want. So I'm going to pick that. Anyway, so the beauty of living in New York City was the art museum. So if you have a question like that, how do I make my work less shallow? Just go to the art museum and then, and look at stuff. And the thing I came up with was edges. I had this big revelation. I was looking at this, I guess I assume that's what he meant by shallow, not, I don't know, something that it needed more nuance or more. Let's see, what can I do here? I don't know. That was my interpretation of shallow somehow. And edges was the answer for me. Yeah, so I was looking at that Cezanne big old apple. It was a way oversized apple, life-size apple by Cezanne. And see, maybe I can't have any of this crap in here. I don't know.
Did you save any of those paintings?
Well, no, I don't have them anymore. But one was that wasn't that long before I moved to Vermont that I did those, and one of them was the article before the magazine edition before the one that had the American Artist article in it. One of those paintings was like in the coming next week or next month. It was one of those paintings, so. And I did sell that. I remember when I sold that painting. And you know what? I didn't do anything else. Oh, maybe I did. Maybe I came back and tried to work on the edges more on that. It was a painting of, it was right when they had that whole thing that there was that one woman in Africa that they had, could trace everybody in the world back to her. So Jim has all these African sculptures because he used to live there, and so it was some of these women African sculptures he had and stuff, and it was called Our Mother is African.
That guy.
That what?
Whatever happened to that guy who said your work was shallow?
My teacher, he died.
Sorry.
You know, he's the reason I'm this good painter I am today. He never let me get away with anything. And if I am a good teacher, it's because of him, because he was a fabulous teacher. But yeah, he, sadly, how I wish he could see my work now. Probably have something like that to say, though, probably. Like, could you add a little more depth to your work, Jeneane? Good Lord, you've been painting forever now. Anyway, so that was the thing. I looked at that that Cezanne, and I was looking at that apple, and I just started counting the edge changes he made as I went around the painting, and I sort of got about, and it was over life size, so it was quite a big apple, but I got to about 25 edge changes, and I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm going to add edges to my work. I'm going to make a decision about every edge of my painting. And so I did that for a while.
You do that now?
No. Although I'm kind of having a good time with it. All right, let's see. Still want to do something else about that. I'm not sure it works as well with landscape. I'm really not. But maybe I should try it. I mean, who has time? But you don't really have to be there, I don't think. I toyed with the idea of not even having the photograph up while I did this, but then I thought maybe I'd better. And then the other guy that's so good at edges is, like I was saying before, is Degas, where he just never shows you both sides of something. It's always just one side or the other. All right, how's that, you guys? Is that good? Does that give you some ideas, or?
Yes.
Very much. Thank you.